Hi, Jack Canfield here. Welcome back to another segment of Hollywood Live. My next guest is Cynthia Mills from Charlotte, North Carolina, all the way out to Hollywood. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So before we jump into some questions I have, tell me just a little bit about yourself and your company.
Absolutely. Well, Jack, I'm a preacher's kid and a servant leader. I grew up in the beautiful Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. And I had a dream to have an impact and to see the world, and I had absolutely no idea how to do that. So God heard those prayers, and He made a way for me with scholarships to a private college and then on to my master's degree, which led eventually to running national and international organizations, and I got to see the world in the process. So the Leaders Haven was born after a couple of decades of working with business owners and leaders. I decided I wanted to move from being a CEO, having impact one company at a time, to having a broader impact as a strategist, a leadership catalyst, and also a business and executive coach. So I spend my time now working on transformational experiences with my clients.
So what originally got you into this work?
Well, originally it was a phone call from my mom.
From your mom?
My mom. She said, there's a job that sounds just like you. And I know you're surprised to know that was back in my hometown. But it was a national association working the higher education space. And so I became familiar with being able to impact industry and business by having members who joined, and then you worked for the mission of those organizations. So that's where I got my initial board of directors training and began to learn how to move strategy.
Now you're in the world of transformation now.
Yes.
And you're training leaders.
I am.
And what when you look at leadership training and you look at transformation, it's a big broad term.
It is.
What would you say is the state of that industry in America and in the world right now?
It's a great question, Jack. I think one of the things that is happening for us now is that we have leaders who want to continue to make big impacts in their missions, and they want to see their career arcs fly, and they want to be able to make great decisions. But I also see a lot of very overwhelmed leaders right now. They're stuck in the busyness of the strategy. And so, as we begin to work on leadership development, one of the things we have to be aware of is that the majority of our workplace are now millennials.
True.
And we must develop and groom them in a way that they're ready to take on the positions much earlier than their predecessors did. So I see part of the role in leadership and transformation is preparing leaders earlier and having them ready to step into leadership much earlier.
Now you've how to say this, you've risen really quickly in your industry. You're really well known, you're top of your field. What allows you to stay ahead of the competition? I know you're one of the leading people in this work.
Well, thank you. One of the things I think is really interesting is that when you are working with organizations and business leaders who see that you are for them, they then become your champions. And when you have champions who are spreading the word for you, that becomes really powerful. I recently had a client who said to me, wow, we would never have gotten this far strategically and been able to transform without your facilitation. And that was wonderful to hear from a client, but it also told me that they were going to be a champion for me. And so I think part of staying ahead is actually having the people that are experiencing your work carrying your message for you.
Very good, very good. Now, if you were able to go back in time and talk to yourself when you were just starting out as an entrepreneur, because I know we have a lot of people out there who are starting out or thinking of starting out, what advice or what counsel would you give to yourself?
Well, I would say, first of all, trust your instincts, align for impact, and go bold.
Well, unpack that for us a little bit.
Absolutely. So as you well know, when you're first starting any kind of venture, you're going to get a lot of advice and counsel, solicited and unsolicited. And I found a lot of people were encouraging me to narrow my focus and to become an influencer in fill in the blank. And my instincts were telling me that my expertise and my audience and my services were much broader than that. So I followed my instincts. And now I'm in the process of using a multiple skill set for my clients, which allows me to actually be a bigger resource for them. And in addition to that, I would say that every opportunity that comes along, take it. At a minimum, you're going to learn something from it. So trust your instincts, align for impact, and go bold.
I love it. I love it. It's funny because I would have said very similar things in terms of my own career. I took every opportunity I possibly could, and each one And sometimes they didn't look like they were that important, but each one led to something else that became important in my career. And that willingness to just say yes.
Absolutely. You know, I had a client who said to me, hey, can you come out and help us with a transformation? We need to move from an operational board to a strategic high performance board, and we need a new strategy. And I said, sure, I'll be glad to help you with that. That was a big command, you know, in sort of a day. And the feedback that I got was in that one session that they had witnessed a transformation in the room, and they nicknamed me the Board Whisperer.
The Board Whisperer, I love it.
Well, if I hadn't taken that opportunity, I would never have earned that nickname.
So if people want to find out more about your work and you and get in touch with you, how do they do that?
So leaders who are interested in transformational work can always reach me at 704-604-3005 or email me at cynthiamills@theleadershaven.com. They can also message me at my website, theleadershaven.com, or at theleadershaven on Twitter, or certainly connect on LinkedIn. And I'd encourage our viewers, Jack, to go to my website because there are a lot of free resources there, including a free downloadable ebook, CEO's First 90 Days, Breathing Tips at the Other End of the Fire Hose.
I love the title. That's very good. All right, thanks again, Cynthia.
Thank you, Jack.
All right, you stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.